I think that the people in Australia is more aggressive type of people that will mostly talk to you and say more things, and I think the people in Hong Kong is more passive and say less things.
In this journal, I have visited a lot of historical buildings such as Queen Victoria Building in some university and some like the Parliament of NSW, which is a education program that I have improved my pronunciation and some communication skill.
I think Australia and Hong Kong, they are totally different. For example, in Australia, Aussies are always chilling. No one is walking very fast. Instead, in Hong Kong, everyone is rushing. For example, we finish our meal within 30 minutes. We walk very fast.
I found that the cultural differences between Australia and Hong Kong is a pace of life. In Hong Kong, the pace of life is very incredibly fast because the Hong Kong want to finish their job immediately. It feels like there is a constant rush with people always moving and running. I think that if you walk very leisurely in Hong Kong, you may get the scope.
The second challenge for me is about the food. There are too many junk food in Australia. We seem like eating chips every day in Australia. It doesn't mean the chips wasn't tasty, but it's not good for our health.
The local doesn't speak as we do in the textbook. They actually speak more faster and shorter and use more difficult wordings. So talking to them is very difficult, in my opinion. To handle this problem, I go through all the YouTube channels or news to see how the native English speakers speak and try to understand how the locals speak.
Initially, in terms of language, I hold the problems is to learn some language and some confident verb. I think it is give me more confidence in communicating with the foreigners.
Here in Australia, people tend to be way nicer. When I don't know how to do something, they'll be very patient with me. They'll pick up on my body language on like how I don't know how to do something. And then they're so nice that they teach me not only in the most polite tone possible, but will even say, remember how to do it in the future, also in a nice tone.
Personally, I think the cultural difference between Hong Kong and Australia will be the attitude towards people and tourists. In Australia, people in there are really nice and friendlier to approach since they really like to talk to each other really much. And I have interacted with some of the Australians in there, and I found that they don't really matter about where you come from or what your skin color is. They just matter about to interact with you. So I think this is really good.
I have visited many historical sites. For example, Opera House and University of Sydney. In University of Sydney, I have learned a lot of things. In first, I have learned how to use English to communicate with the local students. In second, I can learn that when the students or the public people go to our school to visit, what did I need to do?
I had a challenge during the tour. My roommates and I were making cup noodles. When we found we have no fork to use, but the cup noodles was almost done. Then we went to the other rooms to ask teachers and students if they had a fork, but we didn't get it. Luckily, I found a spoon.
This is my first time traveling overseas, and my parents weren't around. I find it incredibly easy for me to lose some items or forget something, as there was nobody to remind me. In fact, I did lose a pair of socks at a hotel, unfortunately. I have learned to take care of my belongings and my stuff way better than that at the beginning of the cultural exchange tour.
So when I first arrived in Australia, I felt really exhausted as that was a very long 9-hour flight and my legs were cramped, and I also was very sleepy as I didn't take any sleep during the 9-hour flight because it was just too loud. The engines were really loud and I couldn't sleep at all.
My favorite activity was sandboarding, as it was a whole new experience for me, especially because of the simplicity, unlike snowboarding, which you need special gear for. And also, it was my first time in the desert, which really opened my view, as I never thought a desert would be this blank and have nothing, as I usually thought that deserts would be really hot and shining with lights.
We have eaten such foods like fish and chips, Tim Tams, and Vegemite. All of these foods were very delightful, with each bite wanting us to get more, and even getting seconds. It has really expanded me and also given me a whole new idea on what other countries' national foods, which we might have different ideas on.
The Koala Sanctuary at Port Stephens is a great place for koala rehabilitation after their injuries. It is also a hospital for recovering and performing surgery on injured koalas. And my experience there was a very good one, especially at the dormitories, which was like a house. Even though there was no Wi-Fi there, we still had a great time looking at koalas and learning about how to prevent injury of them in the wild.
Visiting the koala sanctuary was a meaningful experience. As soon as I get there, I was surrounded by the nature sound, the leaf falling, the trees, the bird tracking. The staff there was knowledgeable because they are sharing fun facts about koalas.
Overall, I think visiting the koala sanctuary is a remarkable and meaningful experience in my field, because we can't really touch or see a real koala in Hong Kong. A lot of koala in it is they may have some defect of it, because may caused by crushed by car or attacked by dog. These things teach us we should more protect and do more conservation of koala, but not only of koala but also lots of animals in the world.
I think that visiting a national attraction in Australia, the first reason is because that the variety of landscape. Australia features more environment, including stunning beaches, for example, Bondi and Manly, and also it has some lush national parks.
Yeah, I think that the nature attraction in Australia is more better than Hong Kong. Firstly, the beach is more larger than Hong Kong, and there are lots more activities to do, like surfing and volleyball, because the waves in the beach are more larger and even the sands are more soft.
Although for the first hiking, we can't go onto a mountain because of some time issues, but we still went to the seaside for a walk. And the seaside, me and my friends had been onto the beach, and we had been drawing some words on the beach. This is the time that I most enjoy in the hiking.
In this hiking trail, like today, I have learned like Australian traditional musical instrument. He also showed us some traditional Australian medical. This hiking trail have some stunning views. Like near the cliff, you can see a whole Bondi Beach, and Pacific Ocean.
For the youth UTS is very technological, and because they have many subjects is about the science and the technology.
During my time in Australia, I visited 3 universities, and University of New South Wales is the most impression in this tour. The first impression of this university is the students come from many different countries, making the schools a lively and international place to learn and live.
I have visited 3 universities, such as University of Sydney, University of Technology Sydney, and University of New South Wales. My first impression is I think the local student and teacher was very friendly and nice, and I can communicate with them easily.
In these 3 universities, the most inspiring university is the University of Technology Sydney. It's because the library is so big, it has 3 floors. The people in here was so feel free, just like their home. They do the things that they want to do.
The second part I think that was very impressive is they have a large field, large grass field for them to having a sport activities that also can improve the vibe for them to having a training or playing some sports.
So first of all is the library from the University of Technology Sydney. As it is a large library, it has 3 floors and a full-scale window. But in our school, it's just a room. It is a huge comparative among our libraries and the university campus.
I have seen a lot of different students or teachers during the university visiting. I felt the atmosphere there and I enjoy it very much. All of the teachers or students there are really kind and they are enthusiastic. They don't really resist on talking with foreigners, even though they do not know, talking with some stranger.
When I visited the University of New South Wales, I needed to find a restroom and asked some students for directions. Not only did they kindly show me the way, but they also struck up a conversation asking about my home country and my travel plans in Sydney.